So this was the first part of the fundamental theorem of arithmetic. Now we will do exercise 1.2. So exercise 1.2, I have already told you about the method to find out the SCF and LCM with the help of prime factorization. So in question number 1, question is express each number as a product of its prime factors. आपने हर नंबर को उसके प्राइम फैक्टर्स में रिप्रेजेंट करना है. सो आई एम टेकिंग वन नंबर 140. सो आई एम मेकिंग इट प्राइम फैक्टर्स 270, 235, 5 7 जा and 7 1 जा. So now prime factors of 140 is equal to 2 into 2 into 5 into 7. Because 1 is we will not take 1 because 1 is neither prime number nor composite number. So 2 into 2 into 5 into 7, these are the prime factors. This is answer. So other parts you can do yourself. And in question number 2, you have to find out LCM and SCF of the given integers and verify the property that LCM into HCF is equal to product of two numbers. ठीक है. So this property you can verify with the help of Euclid's division lemma or by prime factorization. Any method you can use. Suppose I have to find out the SCF and LCM of two numbers. Suppose I am taking 35 and 80. So firstly I will find out SCF with the help of prime factorization. So 5 7 ja, 7 1 ja. This is a prime factor of 35. And here 240 ja, 220 ja, and 210 ja, 2 5 ja, and then 5 1 ja. So prime factors of 5, that is equal to 5 into 7, and prime factor of 35 is equal to 5 into 7. Prime factors of 80 is equal to 2 into 2 into 2 into 2 into 5. So now SCF of these two numbers, that is common factor, it means 5. And LCM, I have already told you, convert these prime factorization in the form of power exponents. So this is 5 raised to the power 1 and this is 7 raised to the power 1 and this is 2 raised to the power 4 and this is 5 raised to the power 1. So look at common factor, that is 5 and highest power is 1. So LCM is equal to 5 raised to the power 1 and now remaining, that is 2 raised to the power 4 into 7. So this is the LCM. So now you can verify this property with the help of SCF, LCM and given numbers. So product of two number means 35 into 80. You can put it here. This is the right hand side. And LCM is equal to 5 raised to the power 1, 2 raised to the power 4 into 7. Multiply it, put it here. And then SCF 5, put it here. After that you have to multiply. So both sides should be equal. And this result will be verified. These you have already studied in your previous class. Clear? So now question number 3, find the SCF and LCM of the following integers by applying prime factorization method. So this is same, I have told you. And question number 4 is also same, verification is there of this property. LCM into SCF is equal to product of two numbers. And look at in question number 5. In question number 5 is that you have to show that 6 raised to the power n can end with the 0 digit for any natural number n. Question is that if we put any value of n, it means natural number. Suppose I am putting value n equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and after that putting the value, I will solve this term and you have to check, you have to tell कि is there any number where the last digit of the given number that is 0. Suppose n equal to 1. So here 6 raised to the power 1. It means answer is 6. N equal to 2. 6 raised to the power 2. It means 36. N equal to 3. 6 raised to the power 3. That is equal to 216 and so on. So look at the ones digit of these numbers. Is there any number where this digit, this number is equal to 0? You have to tell this thing in this question. So for this question, I am telling you, you have to use fundamental theorem of arithmetic to solve this question. So firstly, make the prime factors of 6, yani 2 into 3. So this is a prime factor of 6, 2 into 3. Now, when a digit can end with the 0 digit for any natural number of power n, when this number should contain the prime factor of 5 and 2 both, because if we are having a number 10 here in the factorization of given number, then we can get the number whose last digit is equal to 0. But here 2 and 3 is there, 2 and 3 are there. Okay? If I suppose I get another number 5 here, so now 5 to the 10, so 10 into 3 whole raised to the power n. So now its last digit for any value of n will be equal to 0. Okay? So this is a uniqueness of fundamental theorem of arithmetic. So it should contain, every number should contain a prime factor of 5 and 2 both. So at that time the number last digit of the given number will be equal to 0. So these things you have to write down. This is a uniqueness of fundamental theorem of arithmetic. Clear? And in 7th question you have to find out LCM here. So now this is the first part or completed. Now we are going to start second part, fundamental theorem of arithmetic, that is to check irrationality of square root numbers. It means you have to check कि any square root number is irrational or rational. So this is an important question, and I am telling you what is the procedure to show that if any positive square number is rational or irrational, and how you will prove a positive square number is irrational number. So method of this name is proof by contradiction. This is a process, this is the name of the process, proof by contradiction. So I am taking one question, and question is, show that under root 2 is irrational number. Yeah, prove that under root 2 is irrational number. So I am using the method proof by contradiction. Here I will assume that under root 2 is a rational number, and you know very well that a rational number can be written in the form of p by q. So I am writing it, under root 2 is equal to p by q, where p and q are integers and q is not equal to 0. So let us assume p and q have common factor other than 1. Let us assume p and q have common factor other than 1. So I divide these two numbers by that common factor. Now I will get another form a by b. because now these two numbers, they don't have any common factor other than 1. So it means A and B do not have any common factor other than 1. So this is our first equation. So now I will simplify this equation. I am going to simplify this equation. So take B here. So B under root 2 is equal to A. Now for removing the square root, I will do squaring on both sides. So squaring on both sides. So I will get B square, 2B square is equal to A square. Take 2 here, rearranging. So B square equal to A square by 2. So now what is the meaning of this thing? It means if I divide A square by 2, I will get the quotient B square. Yani 2 divides A square completely. It means remainder is 0. So it means 2 divides A square. And 2 is a prime number. So if 2 divides A square, so then 2 also divides A. Because if 2 divides A square, so it means this is one of the prime factor of A square. And if 2 is one of the prime factor of A square, so it must be the prime factor of A also. So it means 2 divides A also. So this is equation number 2. ठीक है, 2 also divides A. It means 2 जो है A को जब पूरा complete divide करता है. So now look at here. When I divide A by 2, I will get any quotient. Suppose I take C, any quotient. So from this result, I will get the value of A is equal to 2C. So here I will put A is equal to 2C in this equation. I am putting value of A is equal to 2C in this equation. So I will get B square is equal to value of A is equal to 2C whole square by में 2. So here I am simplifying it. So B square is equal to 4C square by में 2. 2 2 जा 4. So B square is equal to 2C square. Now rearranging it, take 2 on left hand side. So B square is equal to B square by 2 is equal to C square. So now look at here. What is the meaning of this thing? It means B square is divided by 2 completely and quotient will be C square. यानी 2 जो है B square को complete divide कर रहा है. तो it means 2 divides B square. So again 2 also divides B like this. So this is equation number 3. So now compare equation 2 and 3. Now compare these two equations, equation number 2 and equation number 3. So what we will get? 2 divides A and 2 divides B, this number. But here we contradict that A and B do not common factor other than 1. A और B में 1 के अलावा कोई और भी common factor नहीं है. But from 2 and 3 there is a common factor 2. There is a common factor 2. So it means our assumption is wrong. So this implies under root 2 is irrational number. So this is a proof. So this method is called proof by contradiction. I think this method is clear to all of you. Now next question related to this question in the exam, it may come like this: prove that 3 plus 5 root 2 is irrational number, like this. So what is the method of solving this question? Now root 2, firstly prove that root 2 is irrational number, like this. After the proving of this number, root 2 is irrational number, you can write down. Now look at here, this is 5 multiply root 2, and 5 is a rational number and root 2 is irrational number. When we multiply rational number by irrational number, the result is always irrational number. So you can write down here multiplication of rational and irrational result irrational. So it means 5 root 2 is irrational. Now again one more step. Now this is irrational, it has become irrational. So now addition of this number and this number, yani addition of 3 rational number and irrational number, that is also irrational number. So addition of rational and irrational is also irrational. So this implies 3 plus 5 root 2 is irrational. So this is the result. So exercise 1.3 is same, you have to do like this. So this is a completion of exercise 1.3. Now our last part, and last part is third part, because we were doing fundamental theorem of arithmetic, 2 parts we are done. Now third part is to check whether a rational number p by is in the form of p by q is terminating or non-terminating repeating. For this we need a rational number is in the form of p by q. So one rule is there, with the help of prime factorization we can check कि given number, whether given number is terminating or non-terminating repeating. So for this we have a rule, and rule is that if denominator यानी q is the prime factor of factors of 2 or 5 or both, then p by q is always terminating. And second is if q is not the prime factors of two or 5 or both, so then p by q is always non-terminating, non-repeating. So look at the example. Suppose I am having an example 35 by 50 and I have to check whether it is a terminating or non-terminating repeating. So one thing you have to careful about it कि this number p by q form do not have a common factor other than 1. If any common factor is there in both the number numerator and denominator, then you have to divide these by that number. Now here 5 is a common factor, so divide by 5 to numerator and denominator. So here I will get 7 by 10. So now look at here. Now these two numbers, they do not have any common factor other than 1. So now you have to check the denominator. Now make the prime factors of 10. 2 into 5. So look at here. If the denominator is a factor of 2 or 5 or both, here both factors are there of 2 and 5. So it means this is terminating decimal expansion. Suppose you have a number 3 by 8. Look at the denominator. Now this is in they do not have any common factor other than 1. So it means I can check the rule. So 3 by 8, make the prime factor of 8, that is 2 into 2 into 2, or you can write down 3 raised to the power 2 raised to the power 3. So here denominator is the factor of 2 only. So it means this is also terminating. One more example, I am taking 3 by 25. Look at the denominator. Prime factors of 25, 5 into 5, so 5 raised to the power 2. So here this is a prime factor of only 5. Prime factor is only 5. So this is also terminating. Now one more example. Suppose I am having a number 3 by 14. So this is already in simplest form, in standard form. They do not have any common factor other than 1. So now look at the denominator. Make the factor 2 into 7. Now just check the factors. Here prime factor is 2 and 7 both. But here either 2 should be the prime factor, 5 should be the prime factor, or both should be the prime factors in this case. But here 2 is the prime factor, but 7 is also prime factor. So it should not be there. Either it should be 2, 5 or both. But here 7 is there, na? So it means this is not a terminating decimal expansion. This is non-terminating repeating decimal expansion. So this is the third part of this chapter, and all parts we have completed. And exercise 1.4, this is related to same question. You have to tell ki whether decimal expansion is terminating or non-terminating repeating decimal expansion, ठीक है, by this method, by rules, or by division method. So this you have already done in 9th class. So from my side, this chapter is completed. Chapter 1 is completed. So that's all from my side. Thank you and have a nice day.